Welcome to my Keto Kitchen, Keto Naturopath Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how I make my own spices. A lot of the store-bought spices have sugars in them, they have starches in them, and I choose not to have anything with sugar and starches, so I make my own. And some of the ones that I use most often, I use gingerbread spice, which is, I'm going to have to add some. I use this for my PSMF bread that I have at night. I have a cinnamon, actually I do have a gingerbread spice bread recipe there for Precision PSMF days. I also have a pumpkin pie spice, which I do use for the breads as well. Then I have a taco seasoning, a Cajun seasoning, a fajita seasoning, ranch, and a rib rub. The ranch, a lot of recipes call for ranch dressing, and you can't find a clean ranch dressing, so I make my own. For me personally, I don't do dairy, so which you'd probably mix with a combination of mayo and sour cream. I just mix this up with mayo for a ranch dressing. But it's also good if you just put it on chicken and bake it. My rib rub is amazing, and as you can see, I have a bigger jar for my rib rub. I've used it quite a bit, but I usually make a whole jar of this. It is great on ribs. The jars I use are these small canning jars, and some of them you can see, well, this one's pretty empty. I use it a lot, but some of them that the taco seasoning or Cajun seasoning, I don't use a lot, and I don't make a whole jar, but these really small canning jars work well for the smaller amounts that you need. And this is an old instant coffee jar that I use, so you don't have to have canning jars. You can use any jar that you want. But today I'm going to mix up tandoori chicken so you can see how I do it. I have my canning jar and this funnel, canning funnel, which is very helpful. So it starts with a tablespoon of paprika. All right, I didn't get a tablespoon out, but a tablespoon is 3 teaspoons, so we'll put 3 teaspoons. And a teaspoon of ginger. I love ginger, and it's got that little hot, spicy taste to it. Then a teaspoon of garlic powder. Teaspoon of cinnamon. I've been using cinnamon a lot in spice mixes and with chicken. Oh, cinnamon and cumin go really well together. Speaking of which, a teaspoon of cumin. I absolutely love cumin. When I marinate my chicken breast for my PSMF days, I always use cumin. Again, these spices are good for marinating for PSMF days. You have a half a teaspoon of coriander and a pinch of ground cloves. Now, in making these spice mixes, you can add or subtract spices to your preferred taste. And now this, I probably could have made in a smaller jar, but what I normally do is I'll just make 2 or 3 recipes and fill up a jar, and then you just shake it. And then whenever you want a seasoning, it's already made. Because sometimes I make recipes and it's like, oh, I gotta do this, do that, do this. I have one recipe I love for chicken, and I need to mix up that spice mix because I love to make it, but it's like, oh, I gotta get this spice out, that spice out, versus you just go into the pantry and go, oh, tandoori chicken, okay, it's all mixed up. So again, you probably will want to make several recipes to make a full jar. And as I say, for my PSMF days, I like to marinate my chicken breast so that it's not so dry. I will use lemon juice, put in some of these seasonings, like the fajita seasoning or even the taco seasoning, and mix that up, marinate the chicken breast, and then grill it or bake it, and you have a really nice flavor. So, and if you're a carnivore that uses spices, this is perfect. There's no sugar in it, no starches in it, and it's there whenever you need it. And if you wanted to put a little one of those gel packs in to keep things from caking, you could do that, but I haven't found that necessary. But it's so nice to have these spices already made up, and dinner is so easy when they're there, ready for you to use.